was way more freaky than me. Yeah, she was. She wanna do it in the morning, afternoon, and in the evening. We freaking. She love to get it on. Yeah, I had to sleep with one eye open, but this woman won't leave me alone. No, she won't. I had to sleep with one eye open, yeah, but this woman won't leave me alone. No, she won't. All she wanna do is make love.
All right, all right. Welcome back to the Chatterbox TV with yours truly, King Jacob. And
Yes, sir.
just want to say, man, thanks everybody for tapping in and those who gonna tune in and watch the replay. This show is sponsored by Exquisite PR Firm and 168 Radio. So shout out to my sponsors, and I definitely appreciate y'all for rocking with me. So we have none other than man, artists, musician, producer, public figure. Zino, what's good, man?
I'm very well, my king. How's it going?
Good, man. So before we get started, man, I just want to ask you a
Yeah.
question that people would definitely want to know. Who is Zeno?
Okay. Okay. Zino is an Afrobeat musician, uh, born and brought up in Nigeria, West Africa, deep rooted to um, precisely from Delta State, it's a part of Nigeria. So yeah, that's basically who Zino is in one sentence.
Okay, great. So when did you understand that you had a gift to share with the world musically?
At a very early age, actually, when I was 7.
Okay.
But prior to that, I've always been writing, even before I started reading books or knowing what like an actual book was. I was already putting pen to paper to write songs, melodies, creating melodies in my head. But I got the chance to actually record a song when I was 7. So yeah, pretty much.
So you understood that you had this gift early on.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, good, great. And so what was the first instrument that you picked up?
The piano.
The piano.
Yeah, the piano.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So why do you think you chose the piano first?
I think it was just easier to manipulate sounds on. And my dad was a musician as well, so his main instrument was the piano. So it was easy for me to get into because we had a lot of those at home. It was all over the house. So I just wanted to know what that was. I just wanted to experiment my fingers. But in doing that, he now decided to teach me, So yeah, I learned pretty much. I just enjoyed music, so I really wanted to make sounds, and I created my stuff out of it. So yeah, it was pretty much easy. That's why I just engaged with the piano more.
Okay, so how many instruments do you play in all?
I'd say 5.
Okay, so what five instruments are they? What's the other four besides the piano?
There's the guitar, there's the lead guitar, there's the bass guitar, there's the drums. Uh, every other thing, I think I could just walk my hands around. So basically 4.
Okay, so hold on. So now listen. Now.
Yeah,
I'm I'm familiar with instruments.
yeah,
I've been around it my whole life. Grew up in the church. So
yeah.
when you say that you can play the rhythm and the bass, well, the lead and the bass, so that
Right.
means that you can also play the rhythm as well.
Yes, of course.
Okay. And so with you playing all different guitars, man. When you're
Right.
producing a record, what goes into your production?
Oh, everything, everything. But my main go-to is the piano. I just like
Okay.
to enjoy my
Okay.
piano because you know you can manipulate the keys from the piano. You could do the guitar. You could do all sorts of stuff. So it's now very easy right now. So I really don't need much. So if I need the live stuff, then I go to it.
Okay. 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 So in when you're in your studio sessions, man, how long does it normally take you to come up with some production for a song?
I'm very fast. I'm very fast. Very fast.
Okay.
Sometimes it depends. It depends on my mood. Sometimes it could take an hour. Sometimes it could take 20 minutes. Sometimes it could take 30 minutes. If I'm not the one producing, roughly 15.
Okay. Okay. So now when it comes to your talent, right? Besides being
Right.
a musician, you
Right.
rap and you sing, correct?
I just sing. I just sing. I do more of
You
a dance hall. I could beat around those, but I just sing, to be honest.
just sing. Okay. So as far as the the culture that you come from over in Nigeria, man, what is that
Yeah.
music culture like?
Hmm. Nigerians like to be happy, to be very honest. Nigerians like memories. They like to feel like they're children again. They like to just forget their struggles. It's hard back home, yeah, but like for people in the trenches and stuff like that, they just like to forget their sorrows and just enjoy themselves. So they listen to uh, party music. Sometimes they don't want to be too caught up in their emotions most time. But these days, they be in their feelings, so they listen to some emotional stuff like R&B. So we just fusion all of those stuff together to make Afrobeat or Afro fusion. So
Yeah.
it's yeah. So we just fuse all of those stuff genre together. Uh, R&B, hip hop, soul. We just put all of them together to form Afrobeat, and it's just fun.
Right. And I know there's a huge gospel culture in Nigeria, man. Like
Yeah,
huge, 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 huge.
yeah.
So was you in that gospel culture when you was growing up?
Yes, I was in church. I was in
Okay.
church. I was in the choir actually. So
Okay.
yeah, pretty much everyone started from the choir.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I kind of figured since you said your father had all those pianos over the house, I kind
Yeah,
of figured that he
yeah.
definitely had you in church.
I
So
started
but
from
yeah, that's what's up, man. That's what's up, man. That's really what it starts from, and that's what you really gain your focus on. Because church people take their music real serious. You know what I
of
mean?
course,
Yeah,
of
real,
course,
real, 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 real serious. So that's what's
of
up,
course.
man. So now I will say that me myself, I've been paying attention to Afrobeat music for the last probably like 7 years.
Oh
You
yeah,
know what I mean? Yeah, yeah, the last 7 years. Now I just want to know the origin of the Afrobeat music and how did you get started and cause we in America we hear it and
mm,
and we know that it has really elevated. So but we don't know per se how it got started and how it got over to America. And so, if
right,
you can give me a little history on how it got started and how did it take its own flight to becoming so popular.
right. So there was Fela Anikulapo Kuti. He was like a revolutionary in Nigeria, fighting. He used his music as an instrument to fight the government over what they were doing to the masses and all of that. So then it was called Afrobeat
Hmm.
without the S. So he was doing that, and a lot of people drew inspiration from that. And it became so global. And there was King Sonny Ade as well. So they were very, very big from Nigeria to the diaspora. So they were doing their thing, and it was getting so much attraction and stuff like that. So from there, it grew. Artists started coming up. I may not be able to mention. I may not really know most of the ones that even came afterwards. But from what I know from my generation till now, there was this shift from Wizkid, One Day Cole, The Bunch, P Square. You know, it just changed all of that. P Square brought in the R&B with the fusion of Afrobeat. Two Face brought in the R&B as well. So it was just changing afterwards. You know, like now we could express ourselves. There are a lot of them. I can't be able to mention everybody. There was Timaya. There's Davido. You know, these guys really took the whole thing to the next level, and now we were able to fuse in sounds from different parts. We were able to really use our elements right. So it was not just Afrobeat. It's now Afrobeat, because Afrobeat is now like, oh, we're able to infuse different sounds. So the origin of this was from Fela. So from Fela, passed down to P Square, The Banj, Don Jazzy, Wizkid, One Day Cole, Davido, and so on and so forth. So that's basically the origin of our music, to be
Okay,
honest.
okay. That's great. That's great. So we'll take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back with Zeno, man.
All
He's
right.
giving us the history of the Afrobeats music and you know how he grew up in Nigeria and why music is so important to him. So we'll be right back. Just stay tuned.
Is there?
Yo, what up? This is Big Cappuccino and the Great Wu-Tang Clan, Killer Bees on the Swarm.
Yo, what's up, man? It's your boy Bazaar from D12.
Yo, what's good, y'all? This is Doug E. Fresh.
Hey, Redman is in the building. You already know.
Hey guys, this is Emily Peachy.
Shout out, man, to Worldwide Collaborations, man.
I want to shout out Worldwide Collaborations, LLC.
Shout out to the Worldwide Collaborations, LLC.
World movement, beyond thousands of movements.
The world movement, beyond thousands of movements.
All about representing each other together. So check this out.
What's up? You want to be a part of this? You want to be a part of the Worldwide Collaboration?
You guys should all be a part of Worldwide Collaboration.
Worldwide Collaborations, LLC. Check us out, man, and check what's going on, man. Word up. I have recently been choosing to be a spokesman and an ambassador, so you will see a lot more.
All right, all right, all right. We're back. We're back. We're back.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So man, you so can you remember the first time you did a show? Like when you first when you first came out to let the world know, yo, this is Zeno, and this is
Yeah.
what I have to offer, and I'm here to stay.
Yeah, I could. I could remember. I remember it was like a party. It was like this teenage party we were having and all of that. So a friend of mine was the promoter of the stuff, and he really believed in my stuff. And he calls me and he says, "Yo, I need you to come and like perform." At this time, I don't think I had a proper record. It was just all over the place, not properly mixed. But yeah, I performed and it was really nice. People liked it. Then from there, people started liking me in my city there, and I grew
Okay,
slowly.
okay, okay. So what I do know about, you know, over in Nigeria and other places in Africa, y'all have some of the most hugest, huge festivals. And
Yeah.
so, can you can you talk about any of the time that you perform at some of those festivals?
Yeah, there's this one we do in uh Abuja. It's called Abuja in Nigeria. It's the capital of Nigeria. So it's called the block party, the capital block party. So it's like the whole city comes together to do this show. And I just had an experience once partying there, and then the next time I performed there, I got called up to perform there. So I didn't even know how big it was, and then I got up stage and it was crazy. It was it was crazy. Like everybody just having fun. You know, there's just this feeling when you get up there and you see them just having fun. I can only speak from me on stage because you see them just, it's just really fun. And then you go to Lagos, Nigeria, where that's the hub of the whole thing. So many festivals, so many festivals. I can't, there's live spot, there's so many. So you can't even start to pick. There's so many, there's the mainland block party, there's a lot of them. So yeah, it's really fun. It's like really fun, to be honest.
Yeah, and so with that being said, man, the Afrobeat and the dance hall, how does that
Right.
merge together? How does that merge together?
Okay. So personally, I do Afrobeat and dancehall. So I'd call it Afrofusion. Credit to Burna Boy because he invented that Afrofusion. So it's like a fusion of one sound, an Afrobeat, or two, an Afrobeat. But
Hmm.
the the root here is Afrobeat. We don't forget that. So when sometimes I just feel it. It's not like I learned it from anywhere. I just feel like doing this whole dancehall thing. I just like to, mesmerize my microphone, speak to the melodies how I love to. It's really not something I could describe verbally, but it's something you can hear when you listen to it. So that's how it works for me. Everybody, any other person can have their explanation as to what they do with the dancehall and Afrobeat. So it's like a fling. It just makes sense. I don't know. You just have to listen to it to make sense.
Well, the reason why I asked that because I have a lot of friends from Trinidad, and
Right,
and 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 we discuss, every year when everybody goes over to Trinidad to the carnival. So
right.
and I was asking them about the Afro beats and the dance hall and how it merged. He said, man, he was telling me, he said a lot of times, man, when it comes to the DJs, that the DJs mix it all in together, and 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 it becomes like a party soundtrack. And so everybody is moving and grooving and dancing and having a good time. And people asking, well, who is this artist? Who's that artist? And then once they find out who the artist is, they see how the artist kind of mix the Afro beats in with the dance hall, and it just merge into one thing in like a big party soundtrack.
So I get that, but there's 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 a proper Afro dancehall thing going on. Like my project is coming out soon. There's like it's called Ingenious. I did the
Mhm.
whole thing there. There's a mix. There's a proper dancehall tune. There's a proper reggae tune. There's a proper R&B tune. So like they're just fusion of stuff, yeah, and it makes one track. The DJs do their stuff, yes, credit to them, but Afro dancehall is a thing. Maybe it hasn't just really gotten to them, but it's a thing. Like I think there's a song, Burna Boy, it's called Tested, Approved, and Trusted.
Mhm.
That's that's an Afro dancehall song.
Okay,
That's it.
okay, okay. And Burna Boy is everywhere. You know,
Yeah,
um, a lot of different, American artists, whether it be hip hop, R&B, pop, whatever it is, they
yeah,
they they love Burna. He's really set the bar really high. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like really high, man. So, but as far as you, man, you you travel back home, back and forth to Atlanta, correct?
Right, right.
And so, how is Atlanta big for you being an Afrobeat artist, man? How has Atlanta perceived you?
It's pretty much fun, to be honest. I just want to the reason why I'm gonna be coming and I'm gonna be going is because I'm just trying to expand, continue the culture, the Afrobeat culture, the Afrobeats to the
Right.
world. That's basically what I'm trying to do. Still trying to get more familiar though, but yeah,
Okay. Okay. So do you like the vibe in Atlanta?
yeah, it's cool. It's giving
Okay.
Abuja.
Right. So that's a great music scene to be in, man, and that's
Mhm.
a great way for you to explore your music with all the DJs and the artists that be in Atlanta, and even the artists that come to Atlanta. You know what I
Of
mean?
course.
So it's definitely great, man. So
Mhm.
um, I was talking to John, right?
Yeah.
John said, "I man, I got you, man." He said, he said, take care of my bro. I was like, oh man, we just gonna chop it up about his journey and about the culture of Afrobeat music and things of that nature, man. So, but John is cool, so I definitely
Yeah.
I appreciate him and Cyrus for
Yeah.
definitely plugging me in with you, man. And so, man, let's talk about your current project
Right.
and let's talk about I as me looking on your Instagram, I
Right.
see that you are a magnet for the ladies. So and so I said okay then okay. I said so he one of those. You know what I mean? So I said that's what's up. That's what's up, man. So let's
Right.
talk about the music and the models that be in your videos and stuff like that, man. So how do you orchestrate that and put it all together?
Okay, so music. Let's start with the music. I have a way I just it's like drawing for me. I just think I might be asleep sometimes and I might hear it in my sleep most of the time, to be honest. I just hear it and I just pick up myself and I go to work and then I just imagine things. And I love girls a lot, so I just imagine like, oh, where will I be? How's this view gonna be with this babe? How's this view gonna be with this chick? So most of the time, I just and then it gives me an easier access to feel as I am singing. So it's like I'm mesmerizing and you know, it's like I'm speaking to the mic. It's like the mic is my girl. So it's easier for me to just project that into my music and just do that. And then when it comes to the aspect of display, I just give it to my team and say, look, this is the idea I have, and then they bring suggestions and suggestions, and then we put it all together.
Okay. So man, we have my homie Samuel Pugh tapping in from Chosen One TV.
Yeah.
This weekend, man, we have the Chosen One TV Video Music Awards, man. So I'll be out there covering that event, man. And man, if you're available, man, I'm gonna call your manager John and see what you guys got going on. So if you're available, come through, come out of network, man. You know what I mean? For sure,
Of
man.
course.
Yeah, man. So your Instagram is very interesting. You know, your Instagram says, okay, I'm that guy. So come and see what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? So with that being said, man, when you kind of put together what you want to go into your videos, the scenes, and what you want the model to look like, and
Right.
the locations and stuff like that, man. So is that something your team does, or that's something that you and your team bounce ideas with each other, and y'all just you know uh, break ground when y'all put it all together?
Okay. Uh, in that aspect, all I just do is share my ideas, and then they bring up things and like, oh, the suggestions basically, and if I like it, yes, sure, I go with it. So that's what really happens. So I just give them the idea. They go sorting and like scrapping for ideas, suggestions, and stuff like that, and they bring back to me with my idea in hand. So they bring that to me, and then I choose what is better for me to work with and what I like and it's more pleasing. It's just basically working around my own vision as well. So that's how it works.
Okay, so you have a new single that's out right now, right?
Yes.
Okay, so tell us the name of the single and just walk us through on how the single was created and what were you
Mm.
thinking at that present time when you really created the single and you said, "Oh man, this here gonna be hot." You know what I mean? Like just walk us through it.
Okay, so name of the single is called Superstar. I produced that one I think in 2022. So I just felt like I'm a star, regardless of what anyone is saying. There's a thin line between confidence and ego. Everyone
Right.
needs to know how to go about that. I just know I'm a superstar and that is manifesting. So I just tell myself that, oh, look, I am a superstar. I have to sing this for people to know that you have to, as well as superstars are vulnerable, superstars are strong, as well as they are vulnerable too. So I expressed myself in the song, telling them how it was being, but still I'm a superstar. So I'm still that guy anyway. So regardless of the trials and tribulation, I'm still that superstar. I'm still gonna show up. I'm still gonna keep showing up. So yeah.
Okay, okay. So I will say superstar. I will say this right here, man. I can see why you say that. You know what I mean? I can, like self confidence is everything. So
Yeah,
when people see you have self confidence, then they then want to support you
yeah,
because they really they really like the way you move. They
of
like your
course.
swag. They like your style. So then they want to support you. So when you're really out and about, like, have you had any performances in Atlanta?
Not yet. Not yet.
Not yet. No, not
No.
yet. Not yet. So it's coming. Okay. Okay. So
Correct.
so let's talk about the people that you are still working with back home in Nigeria.
Right. Okay. So I have this rapper in Nigeria. His name is Psycho YP. And I have this other rapper. His name is Alpha Genie. And then there's this guy, my very, 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 very good friend in the industry and outside the industry. His name is Oxlade from Africa. So those people right now are the people I've been working with, putting together sounds, you know, trying to create more music. And yeah, Oxlade is pretty much we pretty much get together on that aspect. We really rub minds making music together, stuff like that. So yeah, those
Okay.
are the guys right now.
Okay. Okay. Man, shout out to my homie Rudy Patch for tapping in, man. CEO of Black Cartel Family LV Promotions. Um, Check them out May 31st in Sanuda, South Carolina. P2K and friends. P2K and a lot of different heavy hitting artists, man. There's gonna be a lot of people there, man. So thank you for tapping in. Now, when it comes to you working with people from back home, are you producing or are you doing some features with different people from back home?
So features for now, I've not really been doing features because I'm trying to finish up my project most of the time.
Mm,
But
okay.
the songs I've been making, for example, with Oxlade and Alpha Genie and Psycho YP, were made by me. So what I do is I create from home. When I envision someone on it, I go to them immediately and say, look, this is what I have. And then aside that, we just sit, vibe, make music randomly. But when I want a project in a certain way, I make sure it is really carved out nicely and it's ready to go. So I just sit down in my lab, go back to their lab, and then we'll make what we need to do.
Okay, great, great. Shout out to Johnny O.C. Hopkins for tapping in with me. Interviewed him this morning about his journey in the gospel business. And And shout out to Miss Melissa Flynn, the Seductive Peace podcast manager, marketer. Thanks for the love and support, man. So we definitely got a few people tapping in with us from different places in the U.S. And so
Yeah,
thank y'all for tapping in. Now the $1 million question: how do
right.
you put your art form of music, the art form of music, in education, which implements growing the community? So music, community, education. How do you tackle all three through your platform of music?
Sometimes I really want to just do me, but when I'm making music, when I feel something in me, for example, I don't like what's going on outside. I don't like what's going on in my street. You know, basically to inspire people in what I do. I have certain songs for different people. For example, my song Superstar can inspire someone from somewhere, basically, just to get like a bit of inspiration from what I do. And then there's so many songs that are not even out yet, So those songs I feel will speak to them from different regions and then just share my life with them, to be honest. So yeah, education, life, that's how it goes for me.
Okay. So you heard the education in life through the art form of music. That's how it works for him. So we're gonna take a
Yeah.
quick commercial break and we'll be right back with more important messages. Stay tuned, keep it locked.
Shout out to the men that just came home from jail and said no matter what the circumstances is, I'm never going back. Shout out to the men that said I'm tired of neglecting my children. I'm stepping up and being a man for my children, teaching them morals, honor, responsibility. Shout out to the men that say, you know what, I'm tired of sleeping on that couch. I'm tired of using my mother. I'm tired of using that girl. I'm going to step up and be a man for me. Shout out to the men that just graduated from college or going to college. Shout out to the men that graduated from trade school. Shout out to the men that say, yo, I'm just tired of being tired and I need to make a change. Shout out to the men that stayed there, that's raising their children. Shout out to the men that's getting married or want to stay married. Shout out to the men that's taking care of children that's not biologically theirs. Shout out to the men that's trying to figure it out. Shout out to the men because you are a beautiful soul. Shout out to the men that's just being a part of everybody's life to make a change, man. Stop the violence.
Yes. Shout out to the brothers that's making a change, man. Standing up and doing what's right and taking that walking that journey to stop violence, man. There's too much violence in the world nowadays, man. So I'm definitely advocate for stopping the violence. So with your music and some of the things that you've seen in life, man, as far as what people have went through, man, is there something in you that says that maybe one day you want to start your own nonprofit or your own foundation? And if
Yes.
so, what type of nonprofit or foundation would you want to start?
Yeah, I would want to start a foundation that could take care of homeless people. Like that could take care of people that have no home, kids that are on the streets, help them to have a place like, where people can come and adopt them, just make a very nice foundation for them where they could feel like home. They could see siblings and other people. They could see, just have a family outside of staying in the streets. So yeah, that's really what I want to do, and help
Okay.
people.
Okay. So back home where you from, man, did you kind of see a lot of that as you was growing up in different things that you've seen, man, as far as poverty?
Yeah, of course, of course. See a lot of people. You meet a lot of people, and obviously you can't help everybody. So you just feel bad when you see situations like that. Yeah, lots of
Mhm.
people are like that. People don't really have the life that you have. You just thank God when you see them like that. Most times I just really thank God, to be very honest, because Back here, people are really going through a lot, to be very honest. So yeah,
Right. Okay. Great, man. So since you play the guitar, the piano, drums, and stuff like that, man, have
right.
you ever thought about teaching music classes? Just teaching music classes to the youth. You know what I mean?
Yeah, look, I could. Me personally, though, I won't be there. I could just
Yeah.
create something because I really want to have a music studio, not just having a recording studio, like a full music studio where people
Mhm.
can learn, people can do live sessions, people can do recording sessions. So it's a bit like a big building where people just come to do musical stuff. So yeah, I could set up a lesson for people to learn there as well. But me personally
So
being there, no.
okay. So you kind of want to open up a music recording studio, a photography room, and a TV studio, something that you would dedicate to back home where you were from. You know,
Basic.
so you can teach the youth and
Mhm.
just have instructors in there teaching.
Yeah,
You know, you just want to open it up and just have somebody else teaching. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. That's what's up, man. That's what's up, man. So, do you have any summertime shows coming up or any appearances or anything like that?
Yeah, I have a couple in Abuja in Nigeria, actually.
Okay.
Appearances.
Okay.
Yeah, club appearances. So yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, what do those appearances consist of? Are you hosting? Are you performing? Like what are you doing at the club?
Mm, I'm hosting. I'm hosting. So yeah, I'm just going there, basically premiering new music and stuff like that. So yeah.
Okay. So you kind of hosting and then
Mm,
premiering new music and
yeah.
is it more like a showcase?
Yeah, I should say showcase of the tape. That's basically what's
Okay.
happening. Yeah,
Okay. So sort of like a pre-release party.
basically, basically.
Okay. Great, man. Great, man. So before we get out of here, man,
Yeah,
you go ahead and give some shout outs, some people that you want to give a shout out to, any announcements you need to make, and tell people where they can find you and your music at.
yeah. Okay, I want to make a big shout out to my man, my G, my brother, family, Oxlade. Respect to you always, and basically, I'll just tell you where to find my music. You can find me on all platforms, all DSPs as X1N0. So the X like xylophone and one like one the numbers and then N and zero like the numbers as well. So X1N0 on all platforms. Then on Instagram it's X1N0 gram on Instagram, and on Twitter it's X1N0 underscore underscore. Tik-
Okay, you heard it first, man.
TikTok
And
same
TikTok, same thing.
same.
Okay. All right. So you heard it. This is my second Afrobeat artist on the show. The first one I had, he was from Ghana, but now he resides in England, and I'm shout out to him. But you're my second one, so I'm gonna have more of you guys on here, man, and any of your partners from back home that would definitely want to come on and really talk about their journey, their career. I'm I'm definitely accepting submissions, man, and you can have John to get in contact with me, man.
Mm-hmm.
So if you guys are working with any artists, producers, any models, and they definitely need an interview, and I'm here, man. So it's always good to get into a global market
Yeah,
and just to really network with people. You know what I mean? So I'm here, man. But I do thank you for coming on, man, and
yeah.
thank you for your time and thank you for sharing your journey and your story with me, man. So until the next
Appreciate
time, man, peace,
it.
love. We out of here, and stay safe, and most of all, man, stay encouraged
Stay
to keep God first. We
appreciate you.
out.
Thank you. very much.
Yes, sir.